Within the past few months, animals around the world, different species, have been documented of walking around in circles. I've heard claims of scientists saying it's some type of disease that's going on, but I can't foresee how that would be happening with different species, fish, insects, bugs, all around the world at the same time. Doesn't really add up to me. Romans 8:22 says, "For we know that the whole creation groans and labors with birth pangs together until now." So we know that all of creation, the animals and the plants, are even longing for the return of Jesus Christ. And we know that when Jesus comes back again the second time, that every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that he is Lord. And I believe that even creation, the animals and the plants will bow, because back in the garden, it wasn't even supposed to be this way for them. We know the lion and the lamb will lay down together in peace when Jesus comes back again. So even creation is longing for the peace and the millennial kingdom and the new heavens and the new earth that Jesus will bring. But it's interesting to think that Jesus says in the last days that it will be like the days of Noah. And what's something that took place in the days of Noah? Well, animals did something very strange. In Genesis 6:19, animals in pairs walked all around the earth to Noah's ark to be rescued from the flood that was coming. There's also many other instances in the Bible of God using animals to get his message across. In Numbers 22:21-39, we have Balaam's donkey, which God actually spoke through the donkey to Balaam, who was being rebellious against the word that God sent Balaam the prophet to go speak. In Matthew 17, in one of Jesus's most unusual miracles, Jesus sent Peter down to the sea to grab a fish that actually had a coin in its mouth to pay the temple tax for him and Peter. A very unusual miracle, but God is in control of the animals, and so he will speak through them because all of creation is his. We also know through the prophet Joel that the Lord says that in the last days he will do multiple things, pouring out his spirit on all flesh, sons and daughters shall prophesy. But he also says he will show wonders in heaven above and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke. So what are some of those signs that will be going on in the earth beneath? Well, it includes something to do with animals, most likely in some sort or another. I've got two more passages here that show that in the last days, God uses animals to get his message across, that the time is short and the return of Jesus Christ is soon. In Revelation chapter 8, verse 9, it says, "A third of the living creatures in the sea died, and a third of the ships were destroyed." So these will be signs of the very last days. And in Hosea 4:3, it says, "Therefore the land mourns, and all who dwell in it will waste away with the beasts of the field and the birds of the air. Even the fish of the sea disappear." So clearly, when we are in the last days, when we're in the final last days, God will use animals in many different ways. There will be animal die-offs, strange signs going on, and just many strange things in the earth. So is that what is going on here with these animals walking in circles? No one really knows for sure, but it is strange. I don't think it's clearly some scientific explanation of, definitely not like a disease like insects and bugs and animals all across the earth are just deciding to walk in circles at the same time. It makes absolutely no sense. Maybe something as if whatever the North Pole is, we know that moves. It's pretty much proven that in the past, the North Pole and the South Pole have flipped. We can look at lava flows and know that. So maybe something's going on with a pole reversal. That's pretty much the only thing that would make sense, in my opinion. Diseases clearly doesn't make any sense, but I don't know for sure. But it is interesting and worth discussing because we don't know exactly what the last days will be like, but there will be strange signs in the earth and in the heavens above. And so when strange things start to happen worldwide in the heavens and in the earth, then it's a pretty good sign that things probably are not far off. I mean, clearly Jesus is not that far off. We don't know exactly. It's as close as it's ever been, that's for sure. It cannot be too far off with how many different prophecies are taking place all around the world, in the Middle East and Israel, and just pretty much everywhere, really, in every aspect. In Matthew 24, right after Jesus says, "As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be in the coming of the Son of Man," a few verses down, he says in verse 42-44, "Therefore keep watch, because you do not know on what day your Lord will come. But understand this, if the owner of the house had known at what time of night the thief was coming, he would have kept watch and would not have let his house to be broken into. So you also must be ready, because the Son of Man is coming at an hour when you do not expect him." Thanks for watching, and God bless.